Aaron, what do you think of the way that Will Warren grinded it out after throwing 36 pitches in that first inning and managing to get out of the jam?
Yeah, it was big. He's probably 2 hitters away from being out of the game. So, but thought his body language was good. You knew he was frustrated, but just continued to stay after it. And I think he knows if he can get back in the zone, he's got the confidence that he's got the stuff that he can get right out of that, and he can get swing and miss in the strike zone, which he did. So, really good effort. And then, even gotten a little bit of a jam there in his last inning. But after that inning, to give us 5 scoreless was a really nice job by him.
What's kind of going through your mind on the bench as that inning is unfolding? 3 strikeouts, but the 3 walks as well, elevating the pitch count.
Other than one point we had to get Winans up. So there was that. But honestly, a lot of confidence that, we don't have to trick him. He's got the stuff to go right after. If he gets back in the zone, he can, get through this. And he did that and made a big pitch to get out of it.
Cody Bellinger with an RBI single there in that 3rd inning after they intentionally walked Aaron Judge.
Easy for you to say.
Jeez, a win. First time here. Just in those situations this year, he's 6 for 15. What do you think has made him kind of bear down in those spots?
I don't know. It's a good hitter that has gotten some results, and I thought he put up a few really good at bats tonight, all the way to the last one where he lines the base hit off the lefty. I just think it's product of a good hitter that's been around and been there and done that and doesn't get overwhelmed or overamped. Sometimes you want to show so bad in those situations that can get you into some trouble. He seems to manage that really well, but that was big for us, getting us a lead.
Andy?
As you've watched Warren since last year, are there any particular aspects of what he does, whether it's a particular pitch or the way he approaches a situation, that you've noticed develop?
I feel like he's really starting to use his sinker and his 4-seamer really well, with a lot of faith in it and in the strike zone. He knows he can go in the strike zone with both of those pitches if he executes, so he doesn't have to run from contact. But those 2 pitches really play for him, and I think I've just seen the development of those 2, the sinker and the 4-seamer, and the confidence and knowing how to use them outing after outing now.
And also, is any part of him easing into that, settling into that game, involve maybe a pitcher-catcher pairing that's new, and anything getting ironed out with that, whether it's sequencing or them getting on the same page?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't. No. And Benny's caught him, obviously, coming up through the minors. I don't think that was the case at all. I think it was a case of, some good hitters there for the A's that, the top 5 hitters they run out are pretty good there, that controlled the zone on him a little bit. And, just to tick off with his command. But I don't necessarily think it was catcher related.
Brendan, to the right.
Who's starting on Sunday?
Stroman.
Gary and Max to the left. Oh.
Quick question about that. You wanted to see after his bullpen, what were you guys checking out?
Just wanted to, because obviously we were on the road too, so we wanted to see him today, make sure he's in a good spot, good with his pen and everything, and so just checking the boxes.
Gary.
Will has talked about learning to trust his stuff and learning that he can get big league hitters out. When did you first see that actually clicking with him this season?
Yeah, definitely earlier this year. The A's outing in Sacramento really stands out, where he was dominant. But I think I don't know the moment, but probably pretty early on in this season where. And now he's really started to get after it in the strike zone with his fastballs. But that being said, I thought an important part of the game tonight was him being able to land some secondaries in the strike zone too, because they were shutting down on any kind of breaking ball or whatever, he was mostly out of the zone with it early. I thought later on he started to land some, and that allowed, kept the hitters honest a little bit. But I've just seen, the two fastballs really, become great pitches for him.
Max.
Going back to the Bellinger RBI single and being at the midway point of the year now, how has the lineup in your eyes in front and behind of Judge performed overall this season?
Yeah, I think really good. I think we have a lot of ways to beat you, and a lot of different guys that can do it, and pretty balanced now too. So, I have a lot of confidence in that group. That we're going to be one of the top offenses, which we've been to this point, but that we have the chance to really continue that and hopefully even get a little bit better.
Eric.
Will has had some tough early innings this year.
Yeah.
Still managed to give you 5, 6. How does that, play a role in his development? How does that benefit him?
Yeah, I mean, it's big, and it sets you up so well too throughout the week. He's had a couple, maybe 2 this year where it went really sideways, and in Tampa where I had to pull him. But that's an important part of a starting pitcher. That's one thing like Carlos, for example, has done really well at this year and last year, where on a night, it wasn't necessarily his best. He's got that ability to kind of get there and give you 5, 6 innings, even on a night when it's not perfect. And it's so valuable. It's so valuable. You're not always going to win necessarily that game, but it just puts you in a better position moving forward throughout the week. And look, I think part of that is his confidence, and he continues to get a little bit better, and he knows he belongs out there and knows that no matter what hitter is in that, if he executes, he can win that battle. So I think that's cemented now with him. But there's no question that he's gotten better at that, and that's an important aspect. And that's all controlling moments, slowing the game down, those cliches that you hear, but those are really important at this level for any athlete, any sport. You got to be able to slow things down when there's some adversity going on around you.
Tom.
Aaron, tonight's game marked the midpoint of the schedule. How would you evaluate the first half of the season?
Incomplete. Look, we've put ourselves in a good position. It hasn't been perfect. We've hit our bumps in the road here these last couple of weeks, right? But overall, I think we've shown that we're a team to be reckoned with, and but with a lot out there to improve on too. So we'll continue work every day. We know we got a long ways to go in this season, but we've put ourselves in a position to go have the season that we went into hoping we could have, and nothing's changed in that regard.
Thank you, Aaron.